But I'm like, no, you don't understand. You don't understand what this girl has built in the last 5 years. That is inspiring to me. This person represents a massive playing field that I can also create from, that I also belong on. I liked this lesson that this conversation sparked in me. So thank you, Alex Cooper, for crossing the street.
You are always attracting energy into your life. The question is, what can you be mindful about attracting? I'm Shannon Bills, mindset mentor, energy healer, and intuitive reader. And today, we're having mindfulness for breakfast.
Good morning. How are we doing, everybody? How's your week going? Is there ever a moment in your day, your week, your month, or is there a specific person in your life or a specific scenario in your life where you feel you lose your footing? Any sense of groundedness just goes out the window. You get that anxious feeling. You go from like feeling so grounded, so in your element, in your power, in your zone, and then within a matter of seconds, you are anxious and all over the place. And it's because there is a specific scenario where you find that you are out of your power. There is a specific person you feel you are out of your power with. Well, that happened to me this weekend. And it happened to me in what feels like a fun way, because I'm going to explain in a second. But it is a pattern that I have noticed that I want to shake. And I want to shake it here with you in this episode. So let's get to it. First of all, dropping out of your power. We do this with a boss, our crush, a celebrity, which this is where my story gets interesting. You know what I'm talking about. We all get out of our power. We immediately just get so like hyper and anxious or overly excited. And it's just not our pure, grounded, powerful selves. Well, a couple days ago, I was out to dinner with some girlfriends and I had a very good celebrity sighting. I live in Los Angeles. I see celebrities all the time. And something I notice is that I have worked with celebrities, I don't want to say my whole life, but more than half of my life, I have been around celebrities or people in very high positions of power. And when it comes to the entertainment industry, like TV, film, actors, producers, executives, I have always seen them as my equal because I've just been in this industry so long. Like, I've worked with Amy Poehler for months on end, and like seeing Amy, I'd be like, oh, hey, Amy, like, what's up? What's going on? Oh, you're writing a joke with Tina right now for the Golden Globes? Love that. Awesome. Cool. Sarah Bareilles. I remember my first year interning in casting was a great year to be working in casting at Telsey and Company because they were workshopping Hamilton. So Lin-Manuel Miranda was always in. And Sarah Bareilles was in because they were workshopping Waitress. And so I'd see them all the time. Sarah would literally be like, here's my credit card. Can you get me a Starbucks and then also get whatever you want? And at the time I'm like, Sarah, yes, girl, I got you. No problem. Easy peasy. That same year, I remember Jimmy Fallon would randomly be in this building that I was interning in. I would have elevator rides with Jimmy Fallon, chat with him, like no big deal. I just was like, oh, my equals, my coworkers. Where I drop out of my power, or who I drop out of my power with, is reality TV stars. I don't know what it is. I don't know if I've talked about it on here, but I love reality TV. I am such a Love Island girl. I am such a Love is Blind girl. I used to be Bachelor, Bachelorette girly. There's only so much TV I can watch. But the reason I got into reality TV is because when I was working in scripted television, I'd have to read scripts every day. And it gets boring after a while for somebody that like didn't love to read scripts every day. So when I came home from a long day of work, I wanted something mindless, something just easy and flowy. And then I used to be here for the drama with reality TV. As I've evolved, I am not really a drama person. That isn't what excites me. What does excite me with reality TV is love. I love love. I love watching a love story unfold. Say what you want. I know a lot of reality TV stars maybe don't end up making it in the end, but honestly, I feel like after watching all of the Love Island UKs and all of the Love Island Australias and some of the Love Island USs, there are some couples that have standed the test of time. And I'm here for it. I am here for their love story unraveling. I just love it so much. And so that is my guilty pleasure. And I guess to my surprise, what happened to fall under reality TV world is not necessarily, I would not label her as a reality TV star, but she is a very famous podcast host, Alex Cooper from Call Her Daddy. And I was out to dinner with my girlfriends, minding my own business, eating my taco and margarita. And all of a sudden I see Alex Cooper and her husband walking across the street. And I literally turned to my friends. I'm like, guys, Alex Cooper. Oh my God, it's Alex Cooper. It's Alex Cooper, guys, turn around. And I shocked myself. Because I am not this person with quote unquote celebrities, actors, get me on a TV set. It's so normal to me and like typical and average day. But get me around a type of reality person, I guess I go a little off the rails. And I am exaggerating a little bit. Was I like absolutely screaming fangirling? No. But I was aware that I was so out of my power because for that last hour of seeing her, my energy was as if it was on a roller coaster. I was like, I can't even believe we just saw her. What a good sighting. Oh my God, does she live here? This is so cool. Like, I wonder what she's up to. I just listened to her episode the other day. I went down a journey. And this has not happened to me, guys. I have run into Gwen Stefani held the door open for me walking into a Barnes & Noble. I was at my go-to crystal shop where Miley Cyrus was chatting with somebody about human design. And I wanted to chime in so badly because I am a human design girly. If you don't know what that is, it's just like another form of astrology-ish. I guess it's describing your energy patterns and how your energy serves you best. And I hear her talking about it and I'm like, love it. My life, so normal. This is just who I am, right? But a reality TV star, man, oh man, I just was really excited. And so it reminded me how easy it is to step out of our power so fast, on a dime, in moments when you don't expect it. So that's what today is about. The first thing I want you to think about when you are out of your power, out of your natural state of being, which is probably very grounded, very present. I'm talking like your everyday with your friends, your everyday with your loved ones, your everyday with your coworkers. Usually there is this natural state of being that exists in a very grounded place. So my question to you that I want you to sit with right now is, when are you out of your power, or who are you out of your power with? When do you feel like your worth becomes conditional? When do you feel like you make yourself small and somebody else so big? Because I was so aware in that moment that I was like, I am just a small little nothing girl eating her taco and margarita, where, oh my goodness, Alex Cooper, she is a goddess, and like how lucky we are to be among this very powerful woman. Again, I'm exaggerating here, but like that is what it felt like, putting her on this pedestal. So who is it in your life or what is it in your life when your nervous system gets hijacked by that external energy, when your internal compass is just spiraling and spinning and doesn't even know what's going on? Who is that with? We're going to change that. Because I wanted to change that and go, gosh, if I run into her again, because turns out she lives in my town, maybe I'll run into her again. Maybe I work with her one day. Maybe I'm on her podcast one day. I don't know, right? I don't know what could happen. If I know my dreams and desires and they're pretty big and at that level, like, it can happen. Well, I got to ground myself. I got to get this energy right, because I think true mastery is emotional mastery. If you can be in any place at any given time with any given person and feel grounded and connected to your power and truth, that is the freedom right there. That emotional mastery sets you up for such a solid place for any circumstance and any person. And I just think that is so beautiful. So a couple of exercises I decided to do, because I was like, higher self, I'm aware that you're having me clock this in real time of how out of my power I was. And look, at the end of the day, it's excitement. I'm not saying you can't get excited when seeing somebody that you admire, right? But how can you also take that energy and neutralize it? Make it feel like it's not out of reach. Make it feel like there is no hierarchy of humans, of talent, right? Making it feel all attainable. So there's a couple of things that I like to do when I feel I am not in my body. I've talked about golden pink light before. That is my first grounding technique that I go to. And this is your breakfast item today, is these grounding techniques. Getting your energy and your power back when you're in moments of well, I guess in my case was reality TV freak out. But that could be with a boss. That could be with a family member you haven't seen in a while. That can be with somebody you're crushing on. That can be with a friend you're trying to impress, right? We're seeing it in all of these different areas of our life. So these are the techniques I want you to practice. Golden pink light. I talk about it all the time, but that is the best one. But if you want to add that additional step to golden pink light, which I'll explain again if you don't know what I'm talking about, but I have a podcast episode on it, where you visualize gold light coming down from the sky and moving into your head and slowly moving into every single body part. So moving into your eyes, your cheeks, your jaw muscle, your neck, your chest, out through your arms, out through your hands, down into your stomach, all the way down and out and through your feet. But with this extra step, I want you to visualize your posture being very open, very tall, very grounded and centered. And this gold light is helping with this posture. And when it's rooting down through your feet, I literally like to picture tree roots. It is rooting out through my feet and down into the ground and bringing me back to the present moment. That pink light is that energy I talk about, Earth's energy, where I visualize pink light coming up through the ground, moving up through those roots of the tree, the imaginary tree we're talking about, moving up into our feet, up into our legs, and then all the way up and out through our body. And that is something I do every day. But clearly in that moment, I just was having the moment. But I very quickly gathered my thoughts, brought myself back to my centered, grounded place with that exercise. The next thing I want to talk about that brought me back to me and my power was I wanted to neutralize my energy with her energy. She is a big celebrity. She was on the cover of Forbes. She is a very successful entrepreneur. She has millions of followers, all the things, right? Where my ego could go, oh, not equal to her, not equal to her. She's cooler than me. She's better than me. Instead of that narrative, I got to shift it back. I got to see how we are equals. So I start to think about how my energy is equal to hers, and not from a place of what it looks like on paper or what it looks like in my life, but what it feels like internally. Because equally, we probably feel expansiveness. It might look differently, but internally, it's the same. Equally, we might feel powerful. Equally, we might feel connected to our purpose. We are both equals in that, my friend. So just bringing it back to the internal feelings, because at the end of the day, that is what we're manifesting from, not from what our eyes are looking at outside of us. So I like to calm my ego down and just be like, hey, there are so many things that we are actually equal with in feeling and being and existing. And that is something that really helps me. The last thing I like to think about is when I'm feeling some sort of, I guess I could call it envy, a little bit envious, but more so just like, oh my God, how cool is this experience? I'm seeing her walking across the street right now. But when I'm experiencing that, I think a really good question that anyone could be asking when they are in those moments of experiencing it, what does that person represent to me? And I think that's why I was so excited, because I see her as a fellow podcaster. I see her as a female entrepreneur. I see her as a multi-million-dollar, multi-business owner. I see her as a female role model. I see her as making a difference in this world and making a massive impact in this world. And that is what she represents to me. I think that envy, admiration is inspirational. It's not about putting that person on a pedestal. There's no hierarchy. It is inspirational. So how can I make that moment a moment of inspiration, a moment of, well, what is she representing? What is she reflecting? Because here's a very cool fun fact. What you see in someone else, you already have inside of you. And it's actually why you are desiring something, why you are feeling so connected to a certain person. It's because that quality is in you. Maybe it hasn't been fully awakened yet, but it's why you specifically feel it so deeply. My other two girlfriends that were with me were like, Shannon, cool. Yeah, she just passed by. But I'm like, no, you don't understand. You don't understand what this girl has built in the last 5 years, right? That is inspiring to me. And that's what got me excited. So I can't fault myself for that, but I think what allows me to bring my power back to a grounded place is this person represents a massive playing field that I can also create from, that I also belong on. And that was just really inspiring to me. So thank you, Alex Cooper, for crossing the street with your husband. I liked this lesson that this conversation sparked in me at that time and then with you guys on here today. So we can bring all of this back to love, to growth, to permission, to empowerment. It doesn't need to be, I drop out of my power when I am around this celebrity, this boss, this crush, whoever it is. We all drop out of our power. It's inevitable, right? But noticing it and loving yourself through it and choosing to come back to a grounded place, chef's kiss. That is all I ask for you. I want you to stand taller in who you are. I want you to feel even more rooted to who you are after you have those moments of all of the power leaving your body. So I hope today gets you thinking. Thank you for being a part of this conversation, and I will see you next week.